No one's looking.
Right. No one's looking at all, right? Yeah. But here she is in the game.
So these characters that are only in the toy box, I guess they don't have a skill tree. How does that work?
They will have a skill tree. Let's take a look. Yeah, so she.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she does have a skill tree. You can see she's got kind of empty the quiver, kind of some archery-based things. Let's see if she has a special move. Her special move may very well be in. Let's have a look. Oh yes.
Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're still at the Disney booth at E3, really enjoying Disney Infinity. We're going to get a look at more of the toy box in 2.0, looking at Merida and Maleficent and some Paradise. So I've got John Day here again, producer on the game, so take it away, John.
Right, okay. So here we are, we're in just another toy box. This one's been sort of pre-built with some of our other Disney content. Remember, you can always mix and match and customize anything you like at any time. We do have some new Paradise and new vehicles. This is one of my very favorites, actually. This is Muppets, bringing the Muppets into the toy box. This is a spaceship from Muppets in Space.
Nice.
So yeah, so we can bring that in, place that down, and now place Merida in the spaceship and fly about the world. It's pretty awesome. I'm a big Muppets fan as well. So it's fully armed and operational.
And you get your scanner on the bottom left, like you do in the main game in 2.0.
Right, yeah, right. We've got, we now have the radar that can tell you where other players are, where their objects are. Just make it a little bit easier to get around. Another feature that the community really requested.
So Merida is a figure that you'll need to be on the 2.0 version of the game to play, that's right?
That's correct, that's correct. All of our 1.0 figures work in 2.0, but it doesn't work backwards, it's all forwards. So everybody works in 2.0, but only the newest characters work in the newest game, yeah. Now, one thing I neglected to mention is that in addition to the creators and the builders that automatically build pieces of the world, we do have one other thing. We do have, we call these templates, and we're going to have many of these available when we release the game. Now, this, for example, is a vehicle combat template, and this has all of those creativity toys with all that logic. Sorry, yeah. So all of the logic toys, the creativity toys that you use to set up these games, it's all pre-connected and pre-set up.
Oh yeah.
So I can place it down in one piece. But again, every one of these is an individual piece that I can select, modify. And so if you're trying to learn how to set up all these creativity toys, some of these pre-built templates are a great way to look at kind of some of the possibilities and see some of the ways you can use them creatively.
Yeah, because I think that was a part of the game that my family took longer to learn.
Right.
Working out what you connected to what. I mean, obviously the game leads you through it in the first version, but having a template would be a good way to start, because learn by example.
We really wanted to make that just as straightforward as we could. It is kind of a complex system, but we are trying to make it as accessible to as many players as we can, so they can start building more great games that we can then share with everybody else.
So Merida comes with her own adventure in the toy box, I imagine.
The figures no longer come with their own adventure like they did in Infinity 1. What we wanted to do was focus on more deep experiences like you get out of those toy box game discs that are much richer, much more full-featured than the per character versions were.
So if you buy the Merida figure, what does that give you?
So you're going to get Merida. It's also going to make available certain toys in the toy box that are appropriate for her. Every character does have at least one, what we call a feat, and feats are sort of like achievements within the game. They're similar a bit to like the gold stars that we had in Infinity 1. And a lot of the feats will also grant you new toys, and there are feats that are specific to each character. So Merida, there are certain feats you can only complete with Merida to get certain content.
And so those feats are completed in the toy box, is that right?
They're completed all across the game. Some of them are in the toy box, some of them are in the playsets, some of them are even in the toy box games.
But for Merida, she doesn't have a playset, so it'll be in the toy box?
Hers will be in the toy box, yes. Her feat is in the toy box. That's right.
So, but sort of to counterbalance that, you'd be able to use Merida in any of those mini games that we've been looking at that come on the hexagonal disc with the sort of the crystalline top.
That's absolutely true, yep.
I'm getting to grips with it, it's quite complicated.
Yeah, we do try to make it as easy to use as possible, so yes, if you simply try it, if you just try to use the game disc with any character, it's going to work. Everything within the toy box works with everything in the toy box. That's really kind of the one rule you need to remember. If it's outside of the toy box, things get a little more strict so we can preserve some authenticity, but within the toy box, anything goes.
Cool. If we have a quick look at Merida, the character up close.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great. If you could maybe talk us through her, and I'll put her up in front of the camera.
Oh yeah, sure. So we've got Merida. She was sculpted just a couple of desks away from where I work. Brilliant looking figure, and we
so
really.
Did you see different versions of her as the process was going on?
Oh yeah. I mean, as they were working on her, sure. I don't know that I necessarily remember them all that well, but yeah, you know, they really wanted to capture her hair and kind of who she is, kind of the sort of rebellious, powerful side of Merida.
Yeah, she feels more like a sort of rebellious, powerful individual rather than a princess. I know there's some controversy of her princess persona. So
right. Well, we just wanted to capture kind of who she was in the film. I think we did that quite well. Character team is extremely talented. And then have you had a chance to look at Maleficent as well? Right. The other new Disney figure that we've announced here at the show is, or that we're showing here at the show, is Maleficent from the new live-action film that just released. She's also still a bit in development, but she's quite fun, quite powerful, does a number of rather interesting things. A lot of fun to play. Great magical effects.
Now she's not finished yet in the game, but we're going to have a quick sneak peek.
We'll have a quick snake. Not much of one, but a quick one.
No one's looking.
Right. No one's looking at all, right? Yeah. But here she is in the game.
So these characters that are only in the toy box, I guess they don't have a skill tree. How does that work?
They will have a skill tree. Yeah, they may not. I mean, like I said, we're still in development, so we may not yet. But even the toy box characters, they will have a skill tree just like the other characters do, and they'll have the ability to level up and everything. Yeah.
And that will affect how they behave in the mini games and in the toy box.
Exactly.
So can we have a look maybe at Merida's skill tree? Is that there?
I don't know if that's there. Tell me to cut it if it's not.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look. Yeah, so she.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she does have a skill tree. You can see she's got kind of empty the quiver, kind of some archery-based things. Let's see if she has a special move. Her special move may very well be in. Let's have a look. Oh yes.
Look at that, rapid fire. So fireworks. That's
right.
Great.
So yes, even she will have, you know, special moves and attack combos and things that she can do that still make her quite powerful, quite competitive with some of the other superheroes that we're bringing in from the Marvel universe. Yeah.
And so you level her up in the toy box by doing things in the toy box. But is that more of a creative focus, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you get experience for your character through doing just about anything, whether it be combat in the toy box, whether it be the toy box games.
Yeah.
Just about everything can grant you that experience. So really, the more you play, the more you're going to level up.
Yeah. So you could just line up yourself a whole bunch of enemies in a toy box, hammer through them and get loads of experience. You
probably could do that. You could do that with any character, right?
Yeah.
You could bring Thor in and say, okay, time to level him up real quick.
Yeah.
You know, I am perfectly prepared to respect the genius of somebody who sets up a toy box specifically to level his character up really quickly. I don't have any problem with that at all. You know, if you're going to do that work, I'm all for it.
And so this is a vehicle that you bought in via Paradise, is that right?
That's right. This is one of our Disneyland hallmarks, the float from the Main Street Electrical Parade. Yes, we also have, let's see, what else have I got here? A couple of new things. I don't know if anybody's a Darkwing Duck fan.
Who's not a Darkwing Duck? Can I pop it in front of the camera? And
oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck.
Big fan of Darkwing Duck. Let's see. Right. So we can bring in his vehicle.
It's great.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty great.
There's a sidecar. Does that mean someone else can get in?
That is correct. This is another one of our two-person vehicles. This one may actually come with an ejection seat as well. Some of them do. You can actually catapult your friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, who controls? Is it the driver controls the ejector seat?
It's always the driver, yes, of course.
You got to watch out.
Yeah, right, yeah. We only have the one controller here today, so I can't show this off, unfortunately, but yes. In some of our vehicles, I know, for example, the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride car certainly has the ejection seat. You can catapult yourself or your friends up to high heights using that. So we've a lot of little tweaks to vehicles, little new features that people are going to notice and appreciate.
So we've often seen special edition of the figures as the game matures through the year, and some crystal figures I think were appearing in like Toys R Us. Is that likely to happen again?
I don't have any details on what we're going to do in terms of special editions or special figures. I'm sure we'll announce something, you know, in the future once we've got something to announce.
And maybe just a few more power discs while we're here. There's a nice array of them. Which ones would you pick to show viewers at home?
Oh geez, you know, whenever we ask people what's your favorite universe, what's your favorite property, one of the ones that comes up a lot is The Lion King, right? People really like The Lion King. I really enjoy the film The Lion King.
I want a Simba figure, but the power disc will be good.
We'll see what we can do. We're going to start here. So I've got these power discs, and I can place these down. Let's see if I've done it already. I've already got Simba's background in the background. Let's see. Hang on. We may already be using the sky. I didn't look at the sky. But we've got the customizations for the Lion King on the power discs. And we, of course, do fully support all of the old ones as well. So we can swap in, for example, you know, I'm a big scuba diver. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm quite partial to Nemo. So we can pull in Nemo.
Oh, no, so you see, this is changing the skybox.
That's right, yeah. So we can change the way that sky looks. You'll see we're now underwater.
Oh, yeah.
Completely changing kind of look and feel.
Yeah, gravity, radiate. Where are we? What's the location?
Well, I think we're
It's changing
right now, yeah. And now I've swapped it back to kind of the African savanna of, oh, there we go. I was looking for Pride Rock. You can see Pride Rock there in the background.
It's impressive actually how it really does change how that whole area feels and the sort of adventures you're expecting to have based on what the background is. That's very nice.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be continuing to add more new customizations, more new properties through the power discs, in addition to supporting everything we've had before.
Cool, well that's a load of information there. I just noticed these little flyers here which mention the PC character. Was that an unlock code?
It is indeed, yes.
Ah.
Take one with you if you haven't already.
Yeah, I've not yet.
Get your glow-in-the-dark buzz.
So yeah, that's interesting. On the PC game, it's a different sort of retail model, isn't it? So because you're not actually getting the figure, the characters in the game are cheaper to buy.
I don't know exactly how they're pricing the characters in the game.
About half the price.
Is it? I do know that if you ever purchase any of the physical toys, they do come with a code that you can use to unlock them on the PC version as well. So anytime you've got one of the figures, you've also got it on the PC game.
Yeah. So we had some parents commenting that they spent a lot of money on all the figures and had a full set, and then at the end of the sort of cycle of the last game, the PC game was free, and then they could have got all that experience for basically half the price.
I see. Well, you don't get the figure for half the price.
That's true.
Right?
In fact, that's what we said.
I don't know how things are in your household, but in mine, my children actually play with the figures just like toys by themselves. In addition to using them, they're highly collectible. I like to think that if you are a fan of toys at all, it's probably worth the difference.
And do your figures, will they be played with, survive untarnished, or have you got? We've got lots of Incredibles characters without heads.
Oh, do you? Mine so far are all right, thankfully, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. So that's the Disney Infinity 2.0 Marvel Superheroes toy box in Disney mode. Lots of information. So thanks for your time. I really appreciate you taking us through that. Thanks a lot.
No problem. My pleasure, Andy. Anything for you.